Kindness, like a warm ray of sunshine, connects human hearts and dissolves distances. But have you ever wondered, could kindness, when left unchecked, be silently causing harm to you? Stoic philosophy offers us an unexpected perspective. Kindness is not merely an altruistic act, it is also an art that requires balance and nuance. Imagine a pianist who knows when to play softly and when to strike a powerful note. We, too, must learn to play our kindness with skill in the symphony of life. Unbounded kindness can disrupt the harmony of life, not only for the recipient, but also for the one trying to maintain their own rhythm. Today, let's uncover the hidden aspects of unconditional kindness and explore how to transform it from a potential burden into a genuine source of strength. If you've ever felt emptier the more you give, the insights here will guide you toward a path of balance, where kindness truly becomes a gift, not just for others, but also for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to us. Thank you for your support. Let's begin this journey of discovery together. 1. When kindness becomes a burden, the cost of putting others first. Have you ever felt like a phone running dozens of apps at once, each app a request from those around you? Every time you answer a call for help, every time you listen to someone's troubles, you gradually drain your energy without even realizing it. Your kindness, if not carefully managed, can turn into a heavy burden, leading to exhaustion, both mentally and physically. Just as a pilot is instructed to put on their own oxygen mask before assisting passengers, taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's a sustainable principle for survival and growth. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once stated, "True kindness must begin with self-love. Without it, you may find yourself depleted and fading into the background as you struggle to help others." Consider the story of two disaster relief volunteers. The first volunteer understood that he could only effectively help others if his own health was well maintained. He took regular breaks, cared for his mental well-being, and attended counseling sessions to relieve stress. As a result, he was able to sustain his efforts for many years. In contrast, the second volunteer, driven by an endless desire to give, neglected his own health and quickly burned out, eventually having to leave the team after just a few months due to exhaustion. Stoic philosophy teaches us that boundaries are not barriers, they are protections. Before helping others, ask yourself, am I sacrificing too much? Is this sacrifice sustainable? After all, you cannot give what you no longer possess. An empty soul cannot warm others, and sometimes saying no is an act of kindness. Kindness to yourself and ultimately to others. In the end, the art of sustainable living lies in nurturing yourself before extending a hand to others. Only when you are genuinely healthy and full of energy can you be the guiding light for those around you. Remember, taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is the foundation that makes your kindness both effective and lasting. In your journey to give, let compassion begin with the act of loving yourself. 2. The art of giving without expectation. In today's society, we often hear that giving is a noble act of the soul, yet few recognize that even kindness requires moderation and wisdom. Stoic philosophy has long emphasized that, on the journey of giving, what matters is not how much we give, but the manner and mindset with which we give. Like an artist who knows when to add a stroke and when to step back, we too need to learn how to give with subtlety. One of the most elusive traps in kindness is the expectation of something in return. Sometimes we give with the hope that our actions will be appreciated, acknowledged, and reciprocated. But just as a seed planted in the soil is beyond our control as to whether it will sprout, waiting for others to respond in kind often leads to disappointment and fatigue. The only thing we can control is our own action, our motive, approach, and attitude in giving, as the philosopher Epictetus taught. Inner peace comes from knowing what is within our control and what is not. The biggest difference between unconditional kindness and conditional kindness lies in our willingness to give without requiring or expecting anything in return. Conditional kindness makes us prone to disappointment when our expectations are unmet. Unconditional kindness, on the other hand, is the act of giving freely without needing anything back, liberating us from the weight of expectation and allowing us to live more lightly. The story of Jesus washing his disciples' feet is a powerful example of unconditional kindness. Jesus, knowing that some would betray him, still washed their feet without any expectation, demonstrating compassion that continues to inspire humanity. This doesn't mean we should hold back or hesitate in giving. On the contrary, when we release our expectations, we experience freedom and authenticity in every action. It's no longer an unspoken transaction, but a natural expression of kindness. When helping a colleague, do it because it's the right thing to do, not in anticipation of a favor in return. When sharing knowledge, enjoy the act of sharing itself rather than seeking praise. When listening to a friend, be fully present in that moment without needing them to reciprocate. Through kindness that is free and pure, unburdened by expectation, we can experience a sense of true peace and happiness. Each kind act becomes a simple joy, an expression of selfless compassion. This makes kindness a never-ending source of positive energy, nourishing our souls without relying on the reactions of others. Ultimately, the art of kindness is not about giving less, but about giving wisely and meaningfully. Like a stream that continually renews itself to keep flowing, when we give with an unexpectant heart, each kind act not only enriches the lives of others, but also nurtures our own spirit, regardless of the world's response. This is true kindness. It brings joy not only to the receiver, but grants freedom to the giver. 3. Setting boundaries, the art of sustainable helping. No, such a short word, yet one of the hardest to say. In today's society, where the line between work and personal life continues to blur, we often find it difficult to turn down requests for help, whether from colleagues, friends, or family members. This isn't a new phenomenon. Since ancient times, people have turned to others for assistance, even with tasks they could handle themselves. This brings up an important question about the boundary between genuine help and unintentionally creating dependency. Stoic philosophy, like a guiding light, suggests that setting boundaries is not about refusing to help. Rather, it's about ensuring that our support is truly meaningful. Just as a good teacher knows when to guide and when to let students explore on their own, we must learn to balance between providing help and allowing space for others to grow independently. Consider the story of John and his daughter Amy. After losing his wife early, John poured all his love into caring for Amy, always ready to solve every problem for her, from homework to major life decisions. His unconditional love, though well-intentioned, became a golden cage, limiting Amy's independence. When John passed away unexpectedly, Amy had to face life's challenges on her own, discovering her inner strength, something previously hidden by her father's protection. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It is the responsibility of each person to stand firm, not to be held up forever." This teaching holds even more value today, as many young people seek independence in an increasingly complex world. When we constantly step in to resolve others' issues, we inadvertently rob them of the chance to experience, learn, and grow. The renowned Stoic philosopher Seneca once warned, "A friend made for advantage will depart for advantage." This reminds us of the essence of sustainable relationships. They are built on respect and understanding, not dependence or transactional exchanges. In today's fast-paced work environment, where personal and professional lives often intertwine, the ability to say no gracefully has become an essential skill for maintaining balance and protecting mental well-being. Saying no politely is not a sign of selfishness, but rather an expression of maturity and self-respect. Stoic philosophy teaches us that our worth should not be measured by our ability to meet every demand, but by the quality of the decisions we make. Sometimes, the kindest act is to let others handle their own challenges. This approach not only safeguards our inner peace, but also empowers others to grow and stand on their own. Ultimately, the art of setting boundaries isn't about building walls, it's about creating a healthy space for everyone to thrive. When we find balance between helping others and respecting our own limits, we practice a noble way of living, one marked by compassion and wisdom. This is the path to inner peace and a meaningful contribution to the growth of our community. 4. Kindness isn't always appreciated. I can't say no, they need me. If I don't help, who will? These words are familiar to those who consistently put others' needs first. Yet there's a sad paradox. The more we try to please everyone, the more likely we are to be overlooked and taken for granted. When we continually meet every request, something strange happens. Instead of being valued for our kindness, we're often seen as a resource to be tapped. Like a door that's always open, people gradually forget that the door has the right to close as well. The philosopher Cicero once said, "What you think of yourself is much more important than what others think of you." This quote encourages us to build an inner fortress, a place where we can stand strong against external pressures and expectations. The change starts with that first no. Initially, turning down an unreasonable request might make us feel guilty or anxious. Those used to our unconditional availability may react negatively. But over time, something wonderful happens. Those who truly appreciate us will respect our boundaries, while those who only wish to take advantage will naturally drift away. Sometimes, by focusing too much on helping others, we unintentionally create a pattern in relationships where others only remember us when they need assistance. They may admire our problem-solving skills, but overlook that we also need connection, moments of joy and relaxation, just like anyone else. This is not a sign of a healthy, balanced relationship. The paradox is that when we begin setting boundaries and showing self-respect, our genuine relationships actually deepen. Like a garden that flourishes when weeds are removed, eliminating toxic connections creates space for true connections to grow. People who genuinely care will value someone who respects their own limits more than someone who constantly sacrifices themselves. This journey requires courage and patience. At first, you might feel lonely as certain people, those accustomed to taking without giving, gradually drift away. But this is a necessary process of cleansing. Like decluttering a messy room, sometimes we need to remove what no longer serves us to make space for new and more positive things. Building an inner fortress doesn't mean becoming cold or closed off. Instead, it means creating a solid foundation for connecting with others in a healthier and more balanced way. By learning to say no to what isn't right, we gain the energy and space to say yes to what truly matters. This is a profound transformation from someone constantly trying to please everyone to someone respected for knowing their own worth. Stoicism not only teaches us how to build inner strength, but also provides tools to recognize and nurture the relationships that truly matter. Finally, remember that this change isn't just about self-protection. It's about creating an environment where we can all grow with mutual respect and understanding. This is the true essence of strength and self-respect in the spirit of Stoicism. Now let's discuss strategies to avoid being taken advantage of and to prevent the risks of excessive kindness. Congratulations on making it more than halfway through the video. You're working to become a better version of yourself, and that's wonderful. If you find something useful or inspiring in this video, feel free to hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. We'd love to hear your thoughts, even just a quick "keep it up" in the comments. 1. Confront the fear of saying no. The art of practicing boundaried kindness. In today's world, kindness is often mistaken for unconditional sacrifice. Learning to say no has become more crucial than ever, especially when many people equate their worth with pleasing others. Stoic philosophy encourages us to approach requests with clear awareness, objectively evaluating each one instead of letting the fear of rejection dominate us. Overcoming this fear requires conscious awareness and continuous practice. We can start by identifying situations where saying no feels challenging and developing polite yet firm responses. Gradually, we'll learn to protect our personal boundaries clearly and without guilt. Practicing emotional intelligence helps us distinguish genuine compassion from unnecessary guilt, fostering healthier and more positive relationships. Connecting with others who are also learning to set boundaries is a valuable support in this journey. Knowing how to say no doesn't diminish kindness. On the contrary, it allows us to be sustainably kind. It reflects the image of someone confident who can balance kindness with self-respect. Each time we protect our boundaries, we're not only safeguarding our inner strength, but also building a stronger version of ourselves where kindness and self-worth coexist and thrive. 2. Listening to your inner voice. Preserving positive energy while helping others. In the journey to practice balanced kindness, the most crucial skill is the ability to listen to and understand your own emotions. Stoic philosophy, with its profound insights, reminds us that emotional awareness is not a sign of weakness, but the foundation of true inner strength. Think of emotions as a sophisticated warning system gifted to us by nature. When performing a kind act, if we feel light, uplifted by joy and fulfillment, it's a sign that we're on the right path. Conversely, if we feel drained, exhausted, or sense a nagging discomfort, it's a warning that our boundaries may be crossed. The art of tuning into our emotions requires regular, conscious practice. Before each decision to help, take a moment to ask yourself, does this truly make me feel light and positive? Or is there reluctance masked by duty and guilt? Being honest with our emotions is not selfish. It's a necessary wisdom to sustain our ability to help others over the long term. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that inner peace is a valuable resource that must be protected. Ignoring emotional warning signs diminishes not only our mental well-being, but also our ability to support others effectively. Observing our emotions also helps us identify patterns in relationships. If you frequently feel used or weighed down around certain people, it may be time to reset boundaries in those relationships. This isn't about judgment. It's about creating healthy interactions for both sides. Remember, negative emotions are not enemies to be defeated. They are wise teachers, pointing out limits that need respect and adjustments that need to be made. Honoring these emotional signals helps us maintain positive energy, allowing us to continue spreading kindness in a sustainable and meaningful way. This is a journey of self-discovery and growth, where every emotion is valued as part of the learning process. As you develop this ability, kindness becomes more refined and profound, bringing joy not only to others, but also nourishing your own soul. 3. Prioritize self-care, building resilience for sustainable giving. In the fast pace of modern life, we can easily become experts at caring for others while forgetting a simple truth. We too need care and nourishment. Stoic philosophy, with its profound wisdom, reminds us that self-care is not selfish. It is the foundation of a virtuous and meaningful life. Just as a gardener maintains their tools for optimal performance, we must recognize that our physical, mental, and emotional health are precious assets that require regular care. Neglecting ourselves in the effort to care for others is a form of self-sabotage that ultimately diminishes our ability to help in the long run. In the Stoic spirit, self-care isn't an occasional act. It's a daily commitment to oneself. This includes building healthy habits, making time for activities that nourish the soul, and most importantly, learning to say no to requests that exceed our limits. Each time we decline an unsuitable request, it's not selfish. It's an expression of self-respect for our health and happiness. Begin this journey of self-love as if painting a balanced canvas between giving and receiving. Choose a personal project, hobby, or goal that genuinely excites you and devote time to it not for anyone else's sake, but simply for the joy it brings to you. Forgiving past mistakes is also a vital part of this journey. Perhaps in the past, you were too hard on yourself, always prioritizing others' needs above your own. But in the Stoic view, the past is not for regret. It's for learning and growth. Each present moment is an opportunity to practice love and respect for oneself in a more mindful way. When you prioritize yourself, something remarkable happens. The quality of your giving also improves. Like a full cup that can pour water for others, a well-cared-for soul has more to share. Giving from a place of abundant energy and love is far more sustainable and meaningful than contributions made solely out of obligation or guilt. Ultimately, remember that putting yourself first doesn't mean abandoning kindness or care for others. It's about finding the right balance, where you can be both a generous giver and someone who wisely takes care of their own needs. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, living a virtuous life while maintaining the peace and integrity of your soul. 4. Identifying beneficial relationships and avoiding energy drainers. In the garden of relationships, not every tree provides shade or bears fruit. Some are parasitic plants that silently drain the nutrients from the soil of our soul. Stoic philosophy, with its wisdom in discernment, teaches us how to recognize and wisely manage these relationships. People who tend to take advantage often come with endless demands for our time, attention, and resources. They are like bottomless vessels. No matter how much affection, care, or assistance we pour in, they always feel empty and ask for more. For those of us inclined to nurture and care for others, these relationships can become energy black holes, gradually draining us of vitality and joy. One of the most crucial lessons from Stoicism is the realization that we cannot change others simply through goodwill or self-sacrifice. Real change must come from within, driven by each person's own will and commitment. Believing that we can save or fix someone else is not only a dangerous illusion, but also a path to our own exhaustion. However, this doesn't mean we must become cold or closed off. On the contrary, Stoic philosophy encourages a balanced and wise approach to relationships. Like a graceful dance, we must learn to move harmoniously between giving and receiving. Too much giving can lead to burnout, while too much reserve can lead to isolation, preventing us from forming meaningful connections. Seneca, with his deep understanding of human nature, compared kindness to a treasure that must be used wisely. This suggests we shouldn't squander our energy and care on relationships that lack balance and reciprocity. Instead, we should reserve these treasures for those who truly appreciate them and reciprocate with genuine care in return. The art of discernment in relationships requires awareness and courage. Awareness to recognize signs of exploitation, constant demands, disregard for our boundaries, and appearing only when help is needed. Courage to set clear boundaries, and when necessary, let go of unhealthy relationships. Remember, our kindness is a valuable resource that should be wisely invested in relationships that truly nurture and enrich our lives. By doing so, we not only protect our own peace and mental well-being, but also create a more positive and lasting impact on those who genuinely need and appreciate our help. Kindness, like a flowing stream, must be directed wisely to avoid running dry. The art of kindness isn't about blind sacrifice, it's about a delicate balance, like a pianist who harmonizes each note, blending giving and receiving, openness and self-protection. Remember, a well-timed no is also a form of love, and each boundary set is a way to protect your positive energy. Only from a heart that is full and self-aware can we become a steady source of light, guiding others along their path. Thank you for joining Philosophic Stoic today. If you found value in this video, feel free to subscribe, leave a like, or simply type "Keep it up" in the comments. Your support helps us create more content that you'll love. We appreciate having you as part of our community. Until next time, stay wise and serene. Have a great day.